Most smokers I know want to quit smoking. That means an estimated 34 million adults in America have either thought of quitting or tried and failed. But most people don't realize that nicotine is just as hard or even possibly harder to quit than heroin. So it's no surprise that this addiction has continued on for many. In this video, I offer 3 strategies on how to set yourself up for success and finally quit the habit. My name is Laura, founder of Hope Made Strong, equipping you and your ministry team as you support and care for others in your community. Recently, I heard someone who wanted to quit smoking call it a dirty, horrible habit. They tried to quit in the past and was successful for a time, but always seemed to return. There is so much shame and failure associated with smoking. So if someone is wanting to quit, rather than jumping in and quitting cold turkey, which rarely works, I suggest being more intentional and making a plan. And just like many other substances, nicotine releases dopamine in the brain. This is a feel-good drug that makes it pleasurable to use. So when you stop smoking, your dopamine levels drop, which causes you to feel anxious and depressed. Nicotine also acts as a stimulant, so this helps people concentrate. At the beginning stages of quitting, people can have trouble focusing. Knowing the benefits you get from smoking is important because then you begin to see a pattern of use, which is the first strategy to set yourself up for success. Get a journal, make a note in your phone, or put it in your calendar. I encourage you to record when, why, and how much you smoke. Note if you smoke 2 in the morning to start your day, or if you smoke in the car on your commute home to decompress. This gives you information to make a plan and be intentional. Your next step is to reflect back on what has worked and what hasn't. Think back to a time that you've tried to quit. What was helpful for you? Was it the patch, gum, or having an accountability partner? Or maybe it was changing your habits. Even if this is your first time trying to quit, there have been moments where you've been successful in putting off smoking, even if it was just a few hours. What was helpful during that time? Was it social pressure or maybe a mint or even being distracted? Write these out because you're going to use these in your plan. Just as it is helpful to look at what worked, it's also helpful to look at what hasn't worked or what drew you back to smoking. The common reasons are stress, depression, and boredom. By knowing what makes it difficult to quit, you can be intentional in your plan. The third strategy is using a concept called harm reduction. Harm reduction is to reduce the harm to the individual and move towards quitting. Quitting cold turkey may be what you want, but your body has been dependent on nicotine for so long that this would be shocking, and it is very hard to do. That's why most people who quit cold turkey return to the habit. By using harm reduction and cutting down on the number of cigarettes smoked each day, it's using a strategy that allows you to have small successes early on and weaning your body off the need for nicotine in a more manageable way. Now, this is where you begin to use that information you gathered in the first step. Get your journal out and see where it would be easiest to begin cutting back. The goal is to reduce the harm and to get some quick wins and to build your confidence. If you smoke 12 cigarettes a day, look at your journal and see how you can cut that to 10 a day for 1 week. Then cut it back to 8 for the next, and so on. Leave the most difficult one, often first thing in the morning, until last. The fourth and final step is building a plan for success. Look at your past successes and setbacks. Start to build a plan to incorporate what has helped in these times that has usually set you back. So if your biggest trigger was stress at work, while you're cutting back, build in habits to deal with that stress. If in the past you returned to smoke after relationship conflict, make a plan ahead of time of what you're going to do when that conflict happens again, like going for a walk. By looking forward and making an intentional plan for when you have a setback, then you're less likely to be surprised and return to the habit of smoking. The process of quitting has been described as being like on a roller coaster. The nervous anticipation, not knowing what is coming on the other side of the drop, and days of ups and downs. There will be moments of not feeling well and being irritable and having cravings. The first few days are often the most intense. Then it might level off and then come back again. Be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself. This is a difficult journey, but a doable one. You can do this. You have what it takes, and being prepared is the first step. Thanks for connecting. Take care.